Hello there, I'm Carol Omar Behan, speaking to you from behind my homemade mask this April 13th, 2020, speaking to you from Light Spring Glen, where the rain has begun to fall once more on this really mild spring day. So between last week's video and this one, I finally got to making myself, with material I have here, a mask to wear when I go out from my place of seclusion. As I'm sure just about all of you who are watching this in present time anyway are doing as well. So I was quite pleased with how this one came out, my handiwork, showing it off to you. And as I'm looking out the window at this beautiful spring day, really, even with the rain here at Light Spring Glen, pleased to bring some of its energy through this light coming in through me to you in this rather, you run out of adjectives to really use, I think. Wow, it's getting kind of dark. I trust I'm going to remain visible to you as I speak to you today. And speaking of last week's video, and Between the Realms videos, which have come to you since the beginning of this year, we went through the gateway, and I'm just going to quick show you this card and come back to it. Oh my gosh, it is getting dark. It's going to be quite mysterious. So let me talk to you about that in a minute, because that's been part of it too. April showers, definitely going to bring May flowers. That's what we'll do. I have a candle. We're going to really need this. It's usually one I have anyway. So, but I digress. Thank you so much for those of you who've let me know how much last week's video, which was on the Libra full moon. Can you hear that? I've got the window cracked open a little bit, so you might be hearing that. Oh, wow. Very mild day. I'm not going to try to catch this. Just be quiet for a minute. It's the rain coming off the roof. You can see the way it's making the flame dance. So last week's video, if you saw it and found it of use to you, sharing a practice, a grounding practice meditation, and it's been viewed a lot of times and with some wonderful comments shared with me about it. I'm glad that that has proven so valuable for any number of you. If you haven't seen it yet and want to check it out, it's the one prior to this one. There's not too much that's been sequential about these, other than I began making them, timing them with the full and the new moons. So we have that, and it's been an incredibly gratifying experience. I'll go back to this card to say that if you've watched these in any regularity, I have most usually, with the exception of once, drawn tarot cards from the Glastonbury Tarot deck. I've found them to be each and every time significant meanings for what appears I should share with all of you. And this one has come up yet again. I won't give you the other ones, but they certainly are very supportive of where we are in the scheme of things, especially now in this time of the pandemic. But we started out this year with this card and its companions that indicates we were coming into 2020 and into new gateways and new portals. And I would suggest that even with the, there's so much wind blowing in, my notes might depart from the little table, so we'll see how that goes. Yep, there it goes. Okay, it's in a notebook, so I'm going to keep it here. This pandemic has brought light and dark, and the darkness of the impact of its effects on people in terms of a loss of illness and loss of life, the strain of, in our country in particular, it would seem, on our medical people and all that they're doing, everybody in the medical field in whatever capacity, um, all the way from people who are keeping things clean in the hospitals and in the places where this is, the caregivers in that respect, all the way to the doctors and nurses on the very front lines. That darkness, the darkness of this and what it's done, upending our work life, our days, what is going to be the long-term effects on the economy. There's a lot of trepidation, to say the least, and fear just certainly is part of that as well, the dark aspects of it. And yet on the reverse side, there is such a sense of opportunity that once we find our way to the end of this and find a way to treat the health impacts of this and the strain it's put on all of this, it's an opportunity to revision and refashion the world that we're coming towards next. I spoke in a video or two ago, as this was bringing us all into our homes in seclusion and quarantine, the opportunity that it represents for us to go into a time of retreat, a time of inner reflection. And to support this, such a tremendous outpouring of materials and online meditations, and in ways that help us do this inner time, this inner reflection, this inner growth that we can address. And I want to say, in addition to what is being shared with us online, that is this, the other part of it, in the wonderful opportunity to reach out and help one another in ways that bring comfort, that bring joy. I'm thinking now in terms of the people who are sharing their music online, including yesterday, Easter Sunday. I haven't watched it yet, but from, no, I didn't write it down. I wrote it in a note to somebody when I was sharing it online. Andrea Bocelli, the wonderful Italian tenor, who, am I right about Italian or is he Spanish? Oh my goodness, I apologize. Well, Andrea Bocelli, who gave a performance of about a half an hour's length called Music for Hope from a cathedral in Spain, and its name I won't even try to retrieve. Every night if there's offered on the weeknights anyway, music from artists all over the world. There's music I enjoy, a particular performer, and I'm not going to remember the name, but nonetheless, this reaching out to share our gifts with one another, whether it be gifts of spiritual matters, whether it be gifts of our creative selves. Mine, I think, falls somewhere in between, but this one I chose to go ahead and offer these videos every week in whatever fashion they are, keeping you company, giving you things to think about. Each week there's a candle burning. There is the Avalon symbol here that a couple of you have noted, that's bringing the beautiful energies of Avalon to bear, as they have in my life for many, many years, and reflect themselves now towards you. The light here of my salt lamp, and so the glow of this, and a few other things you have there. So I'm very glad to be offering these videos. This one is a little bit in between. It is between the realms of the full and the new moons. The new moon coming up in April, and we will have gone into Taurus by then. So if there are Taurians amongst you listening, we're about ready to shift out of Aries, my sign. Tomorrow is my birthday. If you want to call me up and sing me happy birthday, that'll be I wanted to get this done today because I'm finding ways to celebrate tomorrow. So back to next week's video. And I mentioned it to you on at the end of the one on the grounding practice last week. It will be April 22nd, which is a Wednesday. It is the new moon in Libra, no, in Taurus, misspoke, and it is Earth Day. Earth Day number 50, the 50th celebration of Earth Day. There were a lot of things planned for it that involved people gathering in places to celebrate, and clearly it's going to become virtual altogether. I intend to do something of a spaciously solidarity. I'm going to create that word right now, but spacious solidarity of something we might do together next week. The new moon itself is in my time zone, Eastern Daylight Time, will be just around 4:30. I didn't quite get it all together to share with you directly with this, and I'm going to give some more information about it in the details eventually this week, but also maybe another quick short video to have you doing some thinking about what we might do together on April 22nd. And so for this time, I'm just going to kind of keep it at that. It will be something that if you have access to any, hopefully in the midst of what you're doing, you do have some place to go out in nature, whether it's walking your dog or you're fortunate to have a neighborhood that encourages you to be out and walking, and trees to hug along the way, which reminds me I had a tree message to share with you here in a moment, and I certainly will do that. But I look forward to offering something that we might do together through spacious solidarity. That's the phrase that I created with a different twist on it. Next week for Earth Day and the new moon itself. So there will be a video that I will do at some point during the day, but I'd love to do a ceremony that I carry out here that you might be doing at the same time as we bring together our intentions for celebrating our planet. And I hope you have come to see some of the amazing indications of healing that is happening to Mother Earth in the time of so many of us not out there being busy with our busyness in our cars, in our planes, in our all that we do, all that we did before we were asked to go indoors and please stay safe so that we may help those who are being affected by the COVID-19 virus. Most recently, the two things that have come to my attention are that the Himalayas are now being visible, and I meant to go back and look at it, where it is these photos are being taken, but the smog that is hidden then from various locales around them, urban areas, that these beautiful mountains are appearing because the pollution, the smog is decreasing. Cities where bird songs were probably always around in parks and in trees of a neighborhood, and now bird song is being it is that people can hear more than traffic. The river, I should have made better notes. I'm going to link these two articles in there about the one in the Himalayas and this sacred river in India, more than one, where the water is now close to being drinkable again because of the decline, the precipitous decline in the pollution that's been affecting them. Oh, and a fun one, if you haven't seen this picture, in Cambridge, Boston, the turkeys the males, are displaying their full, beautiful tom turkey selves in the streets of Cambridge, Massachusetts. And there was a wonderful picture of one strutting his stuff down the street. So we have all of that. Where else did I want to go? Just while I have you here, and I might end up keeping this on the short side. It's been beyond anything I and you, I'm sure all of us, have experienced, this whole journey that we are on, this history that we are living. If you caught that, it wasn't angelic, it was lightning, maybe angelic too. We may have a thunderstorm. At least I'm on battery here. The thunder gods are speaking, as Sheila Applegate would say. Woohoo! I have goosebumps. And a little while ago, Barred Owl called from the woods too. They're active in the daylight hours some of the time too. Messages from nature telling us that there are things that we can and will do differently. That probably is really enough for this video today in terms of letting you know I'm here. Appreciating very much your letting me know these videos are having an impact of positiveness on you and help in these times. All that we are sharing with one another in these ways, there is a tsunami of love arising that I know is going to carry us to a shore that we will not, that we are imagining is possible. So let us catch that tsunami of love in all the ways that we're reaching out to help and be with one another in our spacious solidarity. And so it is with that, I'll draw this particular video to a close, thanking you for watching. Stay tuned for what will be some information. If you're on Facebook, and many of you who watch this are connected with me there, watch for signs of what we are doing in connection for Earth Day. Something you can do each and every day, though, I reflect to you now, and I'm glad I remembered it. In the very first video, I offered this, since these are videos devoted to the celebration of our connection with Mother Earth and our work for her, as happens through things like Earth Day, to bring her to healing and wholeness. And that is a blessing you can give to her each and every day, morning and night, as is suggested, this following blessing. So I'll recite it to you one more time and include the words once more. Stepping outside if you can, sharing this with her, this Celtic blessing. Blessed be the sweet and precious air by which we are born, by which we are given life. I messed that up a little bit. I'm going to start again. Blessed be the precious and preserving air, I had it wrong altogether, by which we are given life. Okay, here we go. Blessed be the precious and preserving fire, by which we are warmed. Blessed be the precious and preserving waters, by which we are cleansed. Blessed be the precious and preserving land, by which we are sustained. Blessed be the precious and preserving spirit within and around us. Blessed be the precious and preserving ancestors, now, then, and to come. A blessing for Mother Earth and for we, her children. Until next time, I wish you well, be safe, love and light from Light Spring Glen.